Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Monday, June 8th. And Friday was one heck of a day, wasn't it? That was one elevator down day in a big way. And so far, it looks like we're retracing a little bit at the open. There's no continuation yet. So I would not necessarily ascribe too much to it. Could be very much as a dead cat bounce kind of dynamic going on right now. To see when the day session open, what it looks like. Looking at the news, there's nothing to drive the market today. Tomorrow we get a little bit of news, existing home sales. We get CPI on Friday, on Wednesday, and PPI on Thursday. Those are going to be two interesting numbers. 10 and 30-year auctions as well on Wednesday and Thursday, and then a consumer sentiment number on Friday. So that's about it. So not a whole lot of stuff to drive the market. CPI, PPI is not getting that crazy important, but as the oil prices stay higher, the CPI and PPI will be a little bit more important than it has been. See how far inflation is going. See how it's been impacted by these high oil prices. So far, I've redrawn some of the ranges here for on the way down, but it's so volatile and it's just there was a lot of ranges we had. Yes, I just had to delete because it was blown out and just basically negated across the board. So I did the best I could right now, and right, it looks to me like we're retracing, and I would just look for we are right back up here in this bigger congestion area, the 420, 430s, and so in this bigger congestion area, and this one I haven't moved. So this could be a pretty good area of resistance. And you can see this whole chunk of volume here. The lower end is like 74.50s, the upper end is 74.70s. And that's the area. If they trade above the 74.70s, we are back retracing, I think. If they hold this area, I think we're just going to be we potentially could see a short setup up here for rotation back down again. So this looks like a reverse retest right now in this resistance area, but too early to say because it's so freaking volatile. It's you just had to take it with a big grain of salt. So today's trading, I think I'm going to be pretty much on the sidelines in the beginning. Watch see how crazy this is going to get. But it's retracement. It's hard to see where we're going to go. A big kind of flush like this could turn into a big retracement across the whole board. That's retrace the whole range from Friday. It would put us right back to where we were. But sometimes you see that, and then you see a complete down day again, like a day or two later. So this whole volatility just sets off a string of events, and we'll see. We'll see where they're going to go. Right now, congestion area right here. We are in that. The next congestion area is going to be up at the. What the heck am I looking at? Looking at the wrong F1, but it's the right F. It's the right congestion area anyway. That was crazy. I'm looking at the F1 for Nasdaq, but it's the same congestion area. So it's like 74.60s on the ES. So 74.50 to 70. But it's the next congestion area is going to be 75.10s, and that's going to be up here at this next level. So these are the two areas. But if they take out the 74.50, 60s here, then we have a shot at retracing all the way up here. They get back up above the 75.15s, and I guess we're back in action again. But that would be a pretty well. That would it happened before, but we'll see how it goes. So we'll just have to kind of see where the market is at today. But if it is a retracement mode, we can certainly see it retrace back up and retest that 75.15. Right now, I would look for a short setup in these two resistance areas. If it takes out the 74.70s, I would keep going up to the look for a long trade up to the 7500s, and then look for short setups against 7500 and 75.15s again. So that's the way I would play it. But it's anyone's guess how far they're going to want to retrace it versus if they're just going to start nailing it again in the day session. If they take out the lows, I mean, they haven't tested the 73.40s, but if they run it back down there again in the day session and start taking that out, well, bets are off. We're heading back down into this low volume area where it pretty much can run it down to the 7200s at that point. So it's pretty interesting how far they can take it if they take out this area, the 73.32 40s here. So that's kind of how we get started. As I said, I'm going to be very cautious today. It says I sit on the sidelines try to figure out what the market is doing. It is already very volatile. There's a lot of volume already. The micro ESS over 430,000 traded. It's already a million traded on the Nasdaq. So there's a lot of volume already being traded. So expect volatility, expect whipsaws and stuff. So but the general trajectory right now looks to be retracement. We are in a congestion area right now, and if that holds, we can certainly see a rotation down. And if they take it out, then that would be taking out the 7470s on the ES and the on the Nasdaq. I can touch on that in a sec, but take it out to 7470s, then we would be retracing back up to that 7500. And now we can look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq is also the same story. That it's pretty good reversal back up in the 420, 430 resistance area. If they take out, you see the upper area of that one would be 480 to 500. So you see this little area of volume right there, or TPOs. So it starts at the 380s up to the 500s here. So if this area comes out, that's your congestion area. Right now they're in there. If you get the reverse retest, that's going to hold, and you're going to trade back down again. If they take it out, the next level up is going to be all the way up here at the 750s. So you still have a couple of levels above it in between here, but potentially could hold. But I think the bigger area is going to be right here up here at 750. It's going to be the next target. If they start retracing, I would stay on the long side. That means they take out that 500s, 490 to 500s. If they start taking that out, I would stay on the long side retracing. Right now, I would not be super aggressive on the long side because we are reverse retesting this congestion area. But if they keep retracing, the long side is the one you want to be on. If they fail and start heading lower, well, then you start thinking about range band and then short side again. So pretty straightforward, I think. The question is really how much of a retracement are we going to get? Are they going to try to slam it again on the downside, or is this unwind down? Because this unwind was nothing but crazy. That's the biggest point loss that we've seen, I think, on the Nasdaq. It's over like 1,400 points or something crazy, right? So looking at the capital flow on the Nasdaq, the low here was down at the 700, 770s or so, 29.7, and we started at 3,400. So yeah, 29. Oh, not quite. It's 3,400 to 29,400s. So here's your 1,000 points, and then you have another 1,500 points to the downside. That's pretty crazy, right? So big unwind, big shakeout, and the question is, are they going to run it down and test the lows, or was that it? And more than often, you get the retest of the lows, and that's why I'm going to be very cautious about trying to be aggressive on the long side. If they take out one of these key resistance areas or congestion areas, yes, keep retracing, stay on the long side. But if it starts failing, then the next rotation down may be a retest of the low again. So we'll see if that happens, that turn starts happening or not. But it's going to be a pretty volatile day. And as I said, a day like this, chances are you may want to be cautious trading it, just because the volatility it can leave it off the charts. But if you see good setups, failure setups to take out resistance or similar, then yeah, by all means, get on it. Looking at the bond market. So bond market is on the downside. They traded lower Friday. They kept going. They're down below that 11, 15. Well, then they're above it now, but they're right there now. They're right there on this level where we don't quite want them to be. So they're right here at this support area again. If they take this out, if they take this out now and start heading lower, yeah, well, yields start spiking again. So prices go down, yield starts going higher, and it's going to be a little bit of a churn. But I'm going to be looking see if this is going to hold here right now or not. That's going to be the key question, and it's going to be the 11, 6, 15, 16. And right now, since they traded down in the overnight, it's going to be the 1106s. So I'll look to buy against the 16s and 1106s with a bit of caution. just a bit of caution because it's if the momentum move to the downside really is going to start materialize, it's going to be a reverse retest up here at the 26s or with 112s, and then going to be down here at the lows in no time. So looking for shorts against the 26 and the 112s. Looking to buy against the 16 and the 6s with a bit of caution, the lower ends of this. If the 6s comes out, bets are off, stay on the short side. So that's the way we're going to play this guy. Crypto-wise, I took a trade yesterday. That's Sunday. Messing around a little bit on Bitcoin. A quick $1.80 trade. That was like Sunday afternoon. So a little quick one, but that was pretty much just a little quick trade. Overall, silver gold is to the upside a bit. Gold is trading at about 43.40s. All silver is at 68. They backed off quite a bit from the 70s. Oil going back and forth, trading at 91 right now. But as you can tell, the Middle East situation is heating up a bit. They always is a CME oil is also trading around 91, 92. So we'll see if they what they're going to do on that. But it's right now the market is looking past the whole conflict, and the oil is down at 91. But as you can tell, over the weekend it's starting to shoot. I mean, it's Iran and Israel is going at it right now. So we'll see if it's going to be some escalation going on there. That could potentially set this off to the downside again. So we'll just it's going to take that with a grain of salt. But I will watch that, and that's another reason you may want to trade with a bit of caution. You get some headlines come out in the middle of the day, then that could certainly whipsaw the markets a bit. So game plan for today, look for further retracement, but remember we are in the congestion area for the ES, 74.50 to 70 here. This whole area is the congestion area. The Nasdaq's congestion area is this area right there from the 360, 370s up to the 500s. And if this is where you're looking for a reverse retest. So you're looking for short setups up here and the Nasdaq against the 430s and the 490, 500s. On the ES against the 750, which it just took out, and the 7 and the 74.70s. And if it holds and they start trading lower here, then we know it was a reverse retest. If they take those out, look for further retracement. So that's the game plan. Let's see how that develops. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back at 11:30 for the next update. Good trading. And as I said, just going to stay cautious on this thing, just because it's pretty volatile right now. So until we get chopped up for nothing. Alrighty, guys, later.